7 days, 17 hours, 17 minutes, and 17 seconds until FIBA starts.
So
7171717.
So
That's
close.
it, guys. FIBA. And I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you what it does mean for me. It means I'm pumped about FIBA, that I actually give a shit. And dude, Canada versus Spain.
Ooh.
Chencho, shout out Chencho.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friends in Canada. We got Dort and SGA. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say it. They're gonna win. They're gonna smash Spain. Called it,
so?
bro. Don't want to talk too much shit, but
man, I think if I'm sitting here and I'm sitting and saying, coaching Canada, I'm saying the most important thing right now is we start strong. It's as simple as that. We don't want to come out here and we don't want to be sucking ass. Start of the tournament. So let's go out there. Let's start strong. Let's put a lot of pressure with our guards. They got a lot of guards they can sub in and sub out of really, really quickly. They got a lot of strength. So man, I'm hoping that this will be good. What's up, Robert? What's up, Joseph?
What's up, dude? Talk about teams Spain. Anybody who knows, because I don't know much about them. I know they've got NBA players. I know they're pretty good. My question, off the top of anybody's head, does anybody know, is Alex Abrinas playing for Team Spain?
Let's find out, huh?
That would be fun to know. That would be some fun shit right there. But Shai, the best player in the tournament. Suck on that, Luka. Suck on that, Mavs. I'm serious, dude. Shai is going to let everybody know. I get what Luka can do. Luka has had the claim of being the best player in the world for several years, in my opinion. But this is Shai's time, man.
I really hope it's Shai's time. I mean,
and if Shai beats him at this point, dude, this is peak Luka versus an up and coming Shai.
Yeah, you're
right.
Come
on, guys.
It's going to be nice, dude. I mean,
what's up?
What else can you say? I mean, the thing is that Shai is already in what I would consider. If you just take it in the MVP voting and you take it into first team All NBA team, then Shai is your best guard in the league right now, according to the votes, according to the stats last year. Is Shai's right there as far as best guard in the league. So if Shai is trying to make a statement, yet again, we're talking about coming out on a big foot. I think that Shai could do this, man. I think Shai could do something special for sure.
It's going to take some massive, massive win. No, Alex. Thank you, Joseph. It's going to take some serious element of style for Shai at this point. This is like world-class play at the top level. And I understand people will be like, oh, we sent out the B team with Team USA. That's fine. But these FIBA games matter to pretty much everybody other than Team USA. So, like, we care and we're pumped about what we're seeing with Team Australia. We talked about Giddey's rise at a spectacularly young age, at 20 years old, to already be compared to the greatest Australian international player ever, and really like one of the greatest of all time for any country. He's in the Hall of Fame for international basketball. Like Andrew Gay's all-time great. George! You in Germany? Man?
What's up, fellas? I'm still in Germany. That's right.
Very good, man. Very good. Glad to see you, man. It's been a while.
It has, man. I try to catch your guys' show every time. I watch the reruns for sure. And it just so happens that I have some time and you guys went live. I was like, perfect.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, man. Dig the hat. I dig the hat for sure.
Yeah, heck yeah.
All right, I got the question for you, man. Above or under 31 points a game for Shai this year?
Ooh. I'm going to take the over. All
right.
Yeah.
How much over?
Probably, you said 31 and a half.
All right. So you go half a point over.
Yeah.
What about like a 87 Jordan where he put up like 38?
We can only wish. We can only hope.
I don't know how many you put up. I'm guessing. That's what I think he did, though.
That's insane, man. If he did that, that'd be over.
He could do it. He just get a couple more free throws and start knocking down 2 threes a game. He's right there.
Yeah,
it's true, man. Yeah. I get excited though. What about all right, something that we get a lot of, this whole Josh Giddey thing. I'm a huge Josh Giddey fan, but when people, get in the comments, right, and they say that Josh Giddey is equivalent to Larry Bird. I mean, like, what do you feel about that? What about part of Josh Giddey's game do you feel like reminds people of Larry Bird?
Probably his rebounding. I would think that's what people are talking about. Because we'd like the 3-point shot to get to Larry Bird's level, but it's not there yet. And if he can get it there, training with our guy, I'm forgetting his name right now.
Chip England.
Yeah, Chip. If he's training with Chip, hopefully we can get Giddey up there with the close to 40%, which would be awesome.
Yeah, dude. If we get him up to 40%, man, that's. I mean, think about it though. I don't think Larry Bird shot much above 40% until later in his career. So, like, to me, like, I want to like throw that out there is that, like, as far as his shot goes, it's getting there. But Larry Bird's vision and the way that he threw around the ball and really just how he made the hockey assist really famous back in the 80s, like that's what I go back for, like with what people like. For me, I see in Josh Giddey, I circle that and I say, like, maybe because it's been so long since a big white guy that's been able to throw around the ball, and dribble it very well and be strong. Maybe it's been 20 years since we've seen a player like Larry Bird's statue. And that's where, maybe where people start comparing him. But for me, I look at it when people start comparing Larry Bird and Josh Giddey, it excites me because yet again, we're talking about another great and somebody that was obviously able to play power forward or point guard if he needed to. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean that's a lot about, people will say Bird shooting, and I see some people mentioning that.
Yeah,
and like
Steven
he's more
said it,
like a magic passer. But then again, like there's the competitive nature, the win at all costs, get to play at the end. Like, but every player is their own player, and what Josh represents for Team Australia is really different than what he represents for the Thunder.
Sure.
Both sides are obviously super stoked about his potential, but I do think for like Team Australia, he's going to have to be a different level of playmaker for them to be successful. And I'm pumped up. Now, we've talked just kind of joking a little bit, but Dave and I were mentioning it again before we got on. But what do you think about Slovenia and Luka? And is that a better team than the Mavericks around Luka?
Honestly, I haven't even seen Slovenia play. And I haven't really seen any of them play live. I've been catching the highlights of Australia and Canada and some of USA. I'm finding myself more interested in Canada because we got 2 guys over there.
Sure.
Or is it 3?
And 2. We got, I think, 2 on Canada, but I can't think of a third one.
But
I know we got 2 on Australia too with Jack White.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm still getting used to it, dude. But yeah, we got Dorton, SGA, and I think we got somebody else who's Canadian on our team. But maybe I'm wrong.
Is Garuba? Where's he from?
Spain.
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to play on Spain's team this year.
Is he playing?
No.
I think I saw him on the roster. I just don't know if that's the roster.
I'm super stoked about him because he shot like 40% from deep last year on like 70 attempts. I don't know why he's undervalued with his defensive capabilities long term, but maybe he's just a little smaller than people thought when he came into the league. But I think a lot of people kind of need to start comparing him maybe to like Jeremy Sohan or somebody like that, because I think he's got that long-term ability. Did I say his name right? Dave, you looked at me like I didn't say it right.
Jeremy Sohan?
Sohan, thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
Sohan, whatever.
I don't know what you said. I just I do that with my eyes once in a while. I make you wonder what's going on.
All right, cool.
Hey, we're podcast of pronouncing names wrong, so.
Oh, dude, we are the best, man. Like, if they gave it out like an award for like most butchered names ever, dude. In fact, when Mark and I just got on here, I was just trying to mess around and I was saying Victor's last name, bro.
Yeah, he won't say it. I won't
even say it on here. But like the whole point about it is like each time I change the syllable just slightly. And, like there's no way I could say it properly anyways, unless I really, really focus on it for a while. So might as well just change the syllable every single time.
We should do a supercut of all the variations you've invented.
Oh. It'd be like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it would
be. Be way longer than anybody would want to see. Man, that's crazy. So, but man, go ahead,
first game in a week. Are you going to join us live, or what time is that for you guys?
If it's a good time, you know what? Even if it's a bad time, I'm going to try to get in.
All right.
I don't think I have a stream available myself, but if I can be live with you guys and listen to what's going on, that's better than nothing. So,
hey, check out Buff Stream. That Too Cool told me about that. It works for me.
Yeah, I think I can find that on Reddit, and there's like a Buff Stream guys on there, and I can click that. I'll try to make that.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
That'd be dope, man. That'd be great to have you join us. But
Heck yeah.
And
What else we got, Dave?
dude, man, I was just gonna say, man, like I think it's one of those things, man, with this team that we've got to watch out for is which of the players are going to start off as being the best players coming off the bench. I've been watching a lot of stuff about Cason Wallace, man.
Oh,
Dude's
watch out for
exciting.
him for sure.
Like I don't know if we are all ready for what Cason can bring to the table right now. And that's with being, completely respectful to everybody else that's off that bench, because I do believe that you have to earn your spot on this team, especially with that bench as deep as it is. So I think Cason's going to come out and surprise everybody right away, day one.
If he can shoot 40% from deep and average like 2 steals on a block off the bench, which I think he can because of his footwork, positioning, strength, the way he anticipates the game.
Yep.
Man, I'm stoked.
You're
what do
right,
you think,
man.
George?
Oh, I'm like the way he was playing in summer league. Man, that was awesome. That one game where he was just on fire. I was so excited. I invited some of my battle buddies up. They're like, "Hey guys, I know it's summer league, and you guys, they're not really into basketball, but I was like, you guys got to watch." And my guy was on fire. I was like, he hit that half court shot, and my battle buddies were like, "Holy moly!"
Yeah, it's good shit, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm pumped. I'm pumped about that starting lineup. We've talked a lot about that bench unit and how they would compare to other teams' bench units and our depth. This is exciting, man. I can't think of anything that's been quite as exciting.
No, dude.
There's potential for our bench to be one of the best benches of all time, and that gets me excited. I can't wait to see what they actually play like out there.
I mean, like I don't like to throw around things like that very, very much, but when you start looking and breaking down this team, you start recognizing that if this team is going or this bench is going to support 50 wins, like this bench is going to have to be legendary bench. It's going to have to be known as the bench of, like, think about it. When NFL teams win championships, right? They get poached. I mean, everybody off their bench is gone. Like they get thinned down and stuff like that. And I look at the Thunder the same way, is because unlike, NFL team, we still have, many more years to develop these players until they're, what I would consider dominant enough to win a championship. And that could happen sooner than later because of the way that we're raising these young guys. But we're still, in my opinion, a couple years away from going there. And if you look at the way that the professional habits are happening inside this locker room and the way that we're teaching these young players how to play, you're looking at players like Cason Wallace, and you're actually saying, hey, he could jump up there and tear Dort's starting position out of his hands. Like, for us to be able to say stuff like that, it's truly spectacular. The fact that we're sitting here and saying Chet went down and got injured, but what was the best thing about that happened is J-Dub really got a chance to show everybody what he could do at that power forward position, something that we probably would not have seen last year. And it's exciting. It's really cool.
Heck yeah.
All right, George, Jared.
We got a 4-way.
4-way.
Look, guys, no
How's
hands.
everybody doing, man?
We're doing great, man.
All right, man. That's great, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to tell you this, guys, right now. I'm going to go ahead and put in the comment section when we get done with this. You guys just go to this link right here to make sure that your stuff gets uploaded. That way we can allow everybody to listen to you guys' voices and stuff like that. So hold on one second here. Copy.
Pumped, bro. So Josh Giddey, the Boomers building around him. I thought about this a lot. Like when we drafted him, I thought I had pretty high expectations, like pretty high up there. But I never thought, especially after he got cut from the team his rookie year, going into his rookie campaign, that he'd already be this level player this quickly. It's for them to hand that off to him already. It's sort of legendary. Like I don't see this happening again for a 20-year-old in Australia for at least 2 decades, probably.
Well, Jared, think about like this. I'm going to throw this question to you, but like Josh Giddey came into the league. His first year, he tried to make Australia's team, and they denied him. All right. Now we're coming back, not even a full 2 years later, and they're saying he's the best player. How do you feel like that has like happened for Josh?
I don't know. I remember somebody that played for North Carolina. He couldn't even make his high school basketball team. And what happened with that guy?
Yeah, one of the greats, baby, if not the greatest.
So,
Go.
I guess talent recognizes talent.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's a good point. What do you think, George?
I mean, I have to agree. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Man, I just get excited about this team, dude. Like, how
Yeah.
else? Like, I don't know, dude.
Okay, so let's go through the starting lineup because this always gets me pumped up. We
All right,
got
let's do it.
Dort, Defensive Player of the Year nominee, in my opinion. Go and call that now. We got Giddey, maybe a 2010 guy, maybe a triple-double guy. Okay, we got J-Dub. Who knows what we're going to see from him? He looks like a fucking Ninja Turtle out there, man. He's so buff, dude. It's crazy.
Dude,
I mean,
no
seriously.
doubt,
And we got Chet. And then on top of that, we got Shai, who has been putting up Michael Jordan-type stats over the last year and a half. Like, and then you're talking about one of the greatest benches of all time. Like, it's hard not to start thinking like seriously, why are we even putting a ceiling on this team? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to talk about with a team this young, but I don't understand. Like, one of the reasons I look at it is like Shai should win the MVP if we win 60 games or 55 plus games, right? And then on top of that, if you evaluate how long are we actually going to be able to stay this deep for? It seems like, we have a never-ending ability to do this, but a lot of these guys are going to go away. Like like you said, Dave, they're going to be poached. So you have to look at opportunities and assume, especially when you think about the Thunder experiences, like you're never going to guarantee get back to where you were again. So seize the fucking moment,
Can
We
you
also
give me
have
5 players that you don't think are going to make the team?
Sorry, what was that, Jared?
5 players that you don't think are going to make the team.
This year?
Yes. Ooh, I don't like playing this game. That's tough.
I know. That's
like,
how are you going to go ahead and get rid of somebody?
Well, and I think that's where it comes down to is that like some of this team that's already been built, you're not going to get rid of any of these guys. You're just not. Like I would have a hard time getting rid of JRE because of his leadership. I would have a hard time getting rid of Trey Mann because I know what he can do. And
those two are pretty high on my list, unfortunately, because of how deep we are.
And that's it. I mean, like, but then you, like, what? To me, I get this question: like, would you rather Ty? Would you rather?
No, Ty can go because I'm emotionally connected to these guys, dude.
I know, and that's where I'm at. Like, if you haven't been on the Thunder before, then I'm sorry. Like Victor Oladipo, I like, but I would rather trade him and let Kenny Hustle be Kenny Hustle out there.
George, you were saying something. You got cut off there.
Yeah, I was saying we have to take consideration the amount of picks that we still have in the future. So even if we do get rid of some of those guys, we will be replenishing new guys. And I'm not saying we're going to hit every single pick, but we're pretty damn good. Sam Presti's pretty damn good at hitting that a lot of the picks. So,
all right. And Joseph, you're right, man. Joseph brought up White. Have you guys watched Jack White play at all?
Yes.
I don't think I have.
Okay.
Just a few highlights from Team Australia.
All right.
Yeah,
so I watched Jack White play in the NBL last year. I was really impressed by what he can do. His motor is going to be legendary. All right, guys. Like in Oklahoma City, you know how the motor is run in Oklahoma City. When you have one of those guys that are coming off the bench, the Kenny Hustle, people embrace him, Yeah, I'm telling you guys, Jack White is going to be special. You're going to see him come off that bench, make some insane, dunks, throw something down, get a crazy defensive steal. People are going to stop when they see Jack, and they're going to be like, holy shit, how do the Thunder get another guy like this? And out of all the players that I'm starting to watch, I'm telling you guys, Jack White could be my favorite rookie on this team just because, dude, and he's not even a rookie. So he'd be my favorite, first-year player on this team out of anybody. He's special, guys. His motor's right up there. Great shot, great ups, defensive minded set, his long arms. Like he's just a perfect Thunder player coming off that bench.
And George, I wanted to ask you about the picks. Like, how do you see it working? Because we still have pick swaps. And if we say we go to the conference finals and we end up swapping out for a lottery pick for some of these teams and stuff like that, or maybe get one of them from the Clippers or the Rockets or something, like how do you think we make it work? How do we make room for the next J-Dub? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, we would have to get rid of some of the guys. Like, unfortunately, some of the guys you mentioned, probably even, I hate to say it, Poku even might, go somewhere else. And, I hope the best for him. But, and I hope he stays on the Thunder. But, we'll have to we'll have to sacrifice some guys, And it sucks saying that because, like you said, we're all emotionally attached to all of them and stuff like that. But, it's a business at the end of the day.
Right. It's about the contract that they're on too, right? You've got to find a way to outperform your rookie scale contract if you're going to stick around. And that's where I look at a guy like JRE and Trey Mann, and I wonder, they started out pretty good, but then when the minutes started getting cut, what happened? And that's really the reality for their future. So
but let's just talk about though, like I think this is what's going to happen in the future though, is that like when we have players that are on that borderline, like that taint, you know what I'm saying? And they're like almost there, but they're not quite. I look at these players and I see guys like that, and I say like, there's going to be these guys that you're like, holy cow, they dominated last year. But then we go and we get draft picks like Cason Wallace, and then all of a sudden you start recognizing like, man, I love you, Trey, man, but Cason Wallace is outperforming, and that happened fast, and that's going to happen. Like you said, Poku, like I love Poku. And if he learns how to figure out this offense and defense and work it all together, like he did in the beginning of the year last year, he's going to be hard to get rid of.
Dude, I can't.
It was a menace.
You made a good point. I can't see Trey Mann.
Yeah.
Cason's good, bro. Cason's elite.
And that's a point, is that
He's
these guys
changer.
are just rotating.
I mean, that's a survival of the fittest down there. And it was like 2 years ago, if you're a rookie, you were going to get starters minutes almost.
Yep.
Now,
JRE, Poku, these guys like dominated minutes. But now, but look at what happened though. We drafted these guys. We didn't know Jay Will was going to be this good early on. Like we can sit and be like, oh yeah. We knew Jay Will was going to lead the NBA in charges and da. No, we could not have predicted that Jay Will would have been this good. JRE's spot was set. A Poku's spot was set. And then Jay Will's like, hey, motherfuckers, I'm here. And that was it. Like everything else is like, okay, well, Jay Will, Poku, or JRE. Now you you know what I'm saying? It's there's something happened last year to the draft. And people always talk about the 4 players that we picked up with Josh Giddey. Who was that year that we got those 4 players? Or not Josh Giddey. We've got Usman Jang, Chet,
Jalen Williams,
J-Dub, and Jay Will. And people are gonna talk about this draft for a long time with the Thunder. Like about like how legendary this was. The fact that we could end up with 3 of the top, 5 players in this draft, because I really think that Jay Will is going to be one of those guys that everybody's going to stop and be like, how did he go in the second round?
About Jay Will,
last year we talked about him being. Yeah. Go ahead, Jared.
Do you think him or Jack White's going to have more like charges?
Dude, the fact that we could have 2 guys that have 45 plus charges in a year.
Really? You think Jack White's that good at taking charges?
Jack White is really good, bro. Like
really
not the Jay Will level, right? But he slides under and gets still so quickly. Like he has such like complete body control. Like if he's put in the position that he is going to, he's going to gobble up charges. We're going to see some sick stuff, dude.
All right, George, I got to ask you win total, and then Jared, you go next. What do you guys think it's going to be?
Let's see. What was our total last year? Like the actual
40.
total?
40. We won 41 after the play-in.
Okay, so, all right. I'm afraid to say 50, so I'm going to give us 49.
Ooh, 49.
Okay, 49. All right. 9 plus. We'll take it.
Yeah. I'm going to go 47.
47. All right. I like it, man. You know what? 9 and 7, that's a big win, plus. We'll take that because I think that puts us in the top 7, right?
Yeah.
And it's definitely
realistic. I mean, to me, that would be big.
For Joseph, like, I love it when people come out and say 65, 70 plus. Like, I love it. I mean, it's obviously, we've only seen 2 teams ever do that before, but it makes me kind of think, like, why are we putting such ceilings on this team? Like, we don't know. Like, obviously it takes years to develop to be a 70-win team, but I see like the outline, the structure for it. It's not going to happen in 2023, 24. But if you have a team that can build together, that's built up of guys like Chet and SGA and J-Dub, Lou Dort, and you go down the list of Case and Wallace, that bench is so deep. That's the formula, you know?
If the bench comes out and averages 35 points a game, then why couldn't we win 60 games?
Mm.
You know, like, I mean, like that's, I mean, you know, like if you think about it, like you think about having another player on that bench. I mean, you would have multiple players that are averaging 10 points a game off of that bench. You know, like I could see that with this team. You know, Case and Wallace could come out averaging 10, 12 points a game. That's what rookies do with Oklahoma City. You know, I could see J. Will, you know, scoring 10 points a game. You know, like I could see so many of these different players, and that's why we don't know the structure yet. The structure's still being set up on our bench because the reality is we still got 20 players, meaning that 5 got to go, 4 got to go. And I don't even think that we're giving Keyshawn Johnson enough love, bro. We're just not.
Oh my gosh, you're right, dude. You're right.
And
he's a first-round pick in normal situations. I mean, he really is.
And I think we have to look at it like that. We have so many guys on this bench that we cannot sit here and dictate exactly what's going to happen with these guys, because we saw from last year. Nobody would have predicted that J. Will did this. Nobody would have predicted J. Dub would have done what he did. You know, like nobody can sit there and say this is what's going to happen. You know, we can sit there and predict about which rookies we're going to see that are going to be, you know, insane. But the reality is that it's all about the coach and player relationship. Who's going to play? And I think that's a good place to leave it because I'm excited. We're going to keep you guys on here and keep on talking to you guys as we get off. We appreciate you guys getting on here with us and talking. And this is something that's going to happen during games.
Hell yeah, man.
Coming to you guys live. We're pretty stoked about that.
George,
right, guys.
Jared, love you guys. We see everybody later.
Yes, sir, you too.
All right.